Hello, everyone, and welcome to Make a Buzz Ottawa 2020, the LiveWorkPlay 25th anniversary celebration. I hope you're all settled in with a beverage and some snacks, ready to enjoy the show. Your audio is muted, but we're recording everything, so don't feel like you can't participate. For example, if you like something, you could give a thumbs up. Or, as some people did, 2 thumbs up. You could clap to the left. You could clap to the right. You could raise the roof. You could make a heart. You can even do the Arsenio. And you can definitely smile and laugh. Next up, I've got a thank you to our major sponsors. Then we have a quick message from Sam Laprade at News 1310. So let's use those quick segments to practice our on-screen thumbs up and applause. After Sam, the show begins with a rendition of O Canada. Please note that for Zoom events like this, remaining seated during the national anthem is just fine, but please remove your hat, and if you like, you can place your hand on your heart, or you can make a heart with your hands. But we ask that you not leave your screen during the anthem, as we have included O Canada tonight as a tribute to all of our first responders, the people of Nova Scotia, our military and frontline workers. All right, on with the show. There isn't time to thank all our generous supporters, but I want to take a moment to thank our major sponsors: Glenville Jones, Barry Marjorie Weller, UDAC K Family, Via Rail Canada, Quick and Convenience Stores Community Foundation, Pylon Electronics, Kawhi Banyan, WestJet, and the Moore family. Thank you for making Make a Buzz a success.
Hi, I'm Sam Laprade from 1310 News, and I'm so happy to be talking about Live, Work, Play today. It has certainly been a different year this year, and although I wish I was with you at Make a Buzz Ottawa at St. Anthony's Hall, I love the fact you've all come together at Live, Work, Play to be stronger together. I wanted to also say congratulations to so many of the hosts of the past, including Derek Fage and Sandy Sharkey. Derek and Sandy have done it a couple of times together, and then of course Dylan Black joined you as well, and comedian Graham Kay was there too. And I hope to be with you sometime soon, maybe 2021. Thank you all for sharing your gifts and your talents. It has been my honor to get to know you at Live, Work, Play, and this Ottawa community loves you so much. Stay strong, everybody, and stay safe.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our common.
Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Folks, it's great to be here sharing memories for our 25th anniversary of Live, Work, Play at Make a Buzz 2020. What better way to recall the past and the present and the future than to join with some of our former volunteers. And today we are thrilled to have with us Penny Stein. Penny, hello.
Hi, thanks for
Hey.
having me.
It's a pleasure. So tell us, just situate us. Where are you at and what's happening in your life?
Right now, I'm in my apartment in New Westminster, BC. It's a sunny day. It's about plus 15. Just came back from a 4.5-kilometer walk.
All right, well, take us back to the beginning, and how the heck did you get involved with Live Work Play in the first place?
Oh, how did I get started? I had moved to Ottawa from Vancouver for a new job. So I picked up a newspaper called the Penny Saver. I don't know if it still exists anymore, and came across in the middle of for sale items an advertisement for a special needs network, and looked at it and thought, oh, I've been trying to figure out how I could get involved in the community. I had looked at a couple of different options, but I thought I'm going to try this one. And so I called and I spoke to Julie, who invited me over for an interview. Anyway, we had a nice little chat, and I think I started the following week and got to know Julie and Keenan and learn a little bit about what the Special Needs Network at the time was doing, and that's how it started.
So who were some of the members you met back then who perhaps you're still in contact with today?
Oh my God. Well, the Murphys, of course, we're in touch, especially when I go back to Ottawa. And Cooper Gage, who is my landlord when I go back, and we have a great time together. And Ryan McBride, Paul, who sends me quirky little messages every once in a while, as does his roommate, Alex. Alex and I are on a different level. We're sports-minded.
Yes.
And he's a silly San Francisco 49ers fan, that's disgusting.
Yeah, painful,
And
yeah.
yeah, and of course Jaylin and I became a one-on-one, and we've enjoyed some wonderful times. We did a couple of 5K walks, and we try and get together whenever I'm there. Gosh, who else? Tim. I still, I follow Tim on Facebook, and I know I'm missing people, and I hate that idea that I'm going to miss somebody. But Carolyn, Matt, of course, and Jen Harris, and Jenny, and Robin, and Moira.
So back in the day, you were kind of supporting the once a week outings, and then
Yes.
we got Fran Childs involved, who changed things quite dramatically, and that's how you got the one-to-one match with Jalen, for example. And now we have Alex, who's carried that forward. But over that time, and through any of back in the Special Needs Network days or the Live Work Play days, what are some of the wackier situations that you became involved in?
I can't say enough about how much fun I had in those all the time, not just the early years, but Christie Lake, going camping.
Oh my gosh.
Cooper and his skinny dip. Oh my gosh.
That's when he kind of woke up the entire lake, and probably all the way to Perth. I'm not sure. But.
Yeah. We had, and watching there was shooting stars. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We were all out on it. I don't know what it was. It was sort of like a huge raft that was on the ground. And
yes.
Looking up, it was I'm not a camper, so it was an experience for me.
Yeah. I just remember from that you mentioned Carolyn, and she had enjoyed at least one peach cooler and was really finding the stars fascinating.
Yeah, it's like, what else in that? Yeah, we've had some wonderful times, and our Saturday morning brunches at Bronson.
Oh my!
And then of course the Paul wanting to use the industrial dishwasher with dishwashing liquid. That was probably one of my favorites, as we were all walking around up to our well, knees at least in bubbles.
Yeah, we just paid off the bill for that last week.
Yeah. But I think Keenan, one of the things that stands out in my mind is when the group of, I can't even remember how many it was, 16 were going into the residence at Carleton.
Oh, yes.
That to me was just, that's a standout. That's a standout.
Yes, on our own together at Carleton.
Yes.
Yes.
I wasn't there when one of the twins got locked out of his room in a towel. That was, yeah.
Classic. Oh, wow. I might have to dig that photo up if I can.
Oh, yeah. For me, the most important thing is I've got lifelong friends.
Beautiful. Because I was just thinking of, you did a lot of different things, one-on-one, the nighttime outings, board member, but also you brought together volunteers socially, I think, for some of the first time.
Yeah, we did. Well, the first thing we did was we had the Great Glebe Garage Sale at my place when I was still living on Glebe, and you ate a record number of hot dogs, as I recall. One thing I would like to say is in the 25 years, I wasn't involved in the entire 25 years, but I still feel I am involved now. In my day, everyone was dropped off by their families at the centers, and we got on a bus together, and nobody ever traveled alone. To 25 years later, which to some people might sound like a long time, but it's not. That now these same people who were being dropped off for the Wednesday night or the Friday night, whatever it was, are now living on their own and cooking and and working. And the community acceptance, I think that has the way people are now being included, and I think Live Work Play is a standout in that regard.
But is there any other particular big moments that you've been really excited about or proud of? Or?
Well, I think, I have to say every time I have been recognized by Live Work Play for being a volunteer, it's been just a really wonderful feeling, and I've always appreciated it. And having had that opportunity to be presented with the Legacy Award in front of the Governor General, for me, it's the relationships that I have as a result of my volunteer work, and that's I would encourage anyone who's looking at volunteering to think of it in that regard. What you get out of it, not necessarily what you're giving. I got more than I gave. That's the way I feel.
Well, it's good to hear that, because people, your various volunteer organizations always say that, and people who've never done it are kind of like, I don't know about that. But it's great to hear it from someone that's just, no, really.
Yeah.
We're just so grateful you could join us from how many thousand kilometers away. And, that's the benefit of this, I'm not sure what your involvement would have been. And so it's great to have you as part of our memories. And I know lots of people that know you will be excited to see you. And those who don't will be like, what a neat lady.
And look, she did her hair and put makeup on. Yay.
And you can find her on Facebook, and we'll be talking.
That's right. Absolutely.
Hi everyone. For those that don't know me, I'm Alex Darling, People Connector and Volunteer Coordinator for the past 8 years. And I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of our incredible volunteers, past and present. While we celebrated our volunteer team on social media a couple weeks ago for National Volunteer Week, I just wanted to give everyone tuning in for Make a Buzz a quick update about our volunteer team. Currently, we have 153 volunteers, which is up 11% from last year. 68 of those do Friday nights, and we have 85 one-on-one matches. Some volunteers even do both. Friday night volunteers collectively have done 6,630 hours this past year, and matches have done 4,420. Retention-wise, most Friday night volunteers stay connected with Live Work Play for 1.6 years, while matches tend to stay connected for an average of 3 years. This is truly amazing, and we couldn't do the work we do and have the wonderful community that we do without you. We are so grateful. Cheers to volunteers.
Welcome to our next segment, Make a Buzz 2020. Delighted to have with us two of our past chairs, volunteers, and basic overall legends of Live, Work, Play, Cecilia Taylor and Wendy Mitchell. Maybe we just take us back a bit, so we'll start with Wendy, for chronology. So you served probably way too many years as chair.
Yeah.
You can tell us the start and finish of that if you recall it. But I mean, those were some super important years because that's when we were going through all kinds of transition, trying to kind of find our footing in the new sort of person-centered world. But maybe I'll let you share kind of your recollections of those years and what stands out.
Sure. It was a really long time, and being someone who understands the voluntary sector and volunteer roles, I spent many times having chats with you guys about, should I still be chair? Should I still be on the board? Is it time? But we carried on, and I'm glad that we did because I learned so much. So got involved with the organization back in 98, 99, which was really early on. But it was really through the work that I was doing at MBNA. So before I took a community investment role, I was helping to build some partnerships for the bank. And you guys popped up in my rear view mirror, my side view mirror. So we brought you on board and did some really interesting work around employment supports and the early years of employment supports, the early years of galas, the early years of everything. And there was a name change and all of those things happened at the same time. It went from Special Needs Network to Live, Work, Play to supported housing altogether and trying that out to, oh my gosh, that's not how we should do things. We need to try another direction. But the one thing that was always amazing in the board role was that there was never a fear of being trailblazers. And I use that model and that example in my work a lot because it's that concept of you can be a trailblazer. People will come along because eventually, as we're seeing probably in the last 5 years in particular, where you guys were trailblazers on all these things, everyone else has finally come in line with around some of this stuff and how the developmental sector can work and all that side of things. So it really was an interesting experience in the stuff that I learned from the people I worked with on the board, and the processes that we went through over that time was incredible.
When I joined the board, Wendy was still on board, and it was a phenomenal group of people. And it was clear to me that Wendy had built, not on her own, but was leading a team of independent thinkers who also gelled really, really well. So it was super cool to be invited to participate in some of those discussions. And don't kid yourself, Wendy, when you did decide that it was really time to go, we were all very sad and scared to see you go, right? So, and so how I got involved, well, so I'd met Julie years and years ago when we were both working at YouthNet. I started teaching the developmental services worker program at Algonquin College, and I was teaching documentation and report writing and that kind of thing. And I thought, I want to do this right. So who is in my network who could help me? And you guys were in my network, and you kindly said, well, why don't we meet for lunch? And I was like, hey, that would be awesome. And then I realized at a certain point in the meeting that we weren't really talking about documentation. You were looking for board members. And so I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that at the time, but I think later that's what happened. And so an opportunity at the board was available, and I got an invitation to join. And yeah, it's just a side story. There was someone that I was working with who heard that I was on the board and was like, how did you get invited to be on the board of LiveWorkPlay? And I was like, no.
Because see, you have to understand that recruiting board members was on all of our radars at all times, at any time, always.
It was, it's so hard to do well, right? It's so hard to do well. And so, yeah, that it always be on our minds makes total sense. Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's stay with you for a minute because So Wendy was there for a lot of key decisions, name change, early development of mission, shifting to person-centered. But I was kind of going over the memories and what I share in the little bit of time we have on May 7th. And one of the most sort of explosive, joyous gatherings we ever had, and I don't think a lot of organizations can say this, because normally, like voting on your mission statement and stuff, it's just like, put up your hand and let's move on to the croutons. But it was a wonderful evening back in 2011. I wonder if you could just reflect a bit on that process.
What I remember the mission statement being that we voted on in 2011, it was to help the community to welcome people with intellectual disability as valued citizens. And so this idea of focusing not on changing or even supporting members, but helping the community to recognize value and to learn how to welcome. Once we came to it, it was so clear that this was, this is where we want to be. And so if I remember correctly, that was probably the best kind of speech that I'd ever given, because I connected it to my experience at home in Nova Scotia.
It is not for people with intellectual disabilities to change who they are so the world will accept them. They have citizens, and we will help our community welcome and respect them all as such in all
that sense of community was just so strong for me that night, and I remember articulating that sense of history and present and that coming together. So.
And that probably explains why there was such a buzz in the room, because I think people were feeling that, whether or not they were directly excited about the particular words. I think everyone got from you and the others the energy that this is about something a little bit more than a bylaw change.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And so on the fun side of things, because I know you both did things outside of the boardroom with the organization, but do you have any particular wacky or meaningful memories? Like you just chipped in about how Warren likes to greet you. So that's one of those standouts. How about you, Wendy?
You know what's really interesting is the standout is now almost. So I live in Centertown, and I interact with clients and former clients or members of LiveWorkPlay all the time. I see Chris at Starbucks almost every day. I see other members at various points, some walking from the Y and some all around. And it's always shocking because I'm the person that everybody kind of gets almost uncomfortable with when you're walking around, because I'll say hello to anybody. I'll talk to people in the elevators. And so there's me walking down Bank Street, and then I get surprised because someone's yelling, "Hi, Wendy," from across the street. And so that, for me, coming from another city, living in Ottawa, not really, I'd built my network in Ottawa, but I'm not from here. I just alone on former members of LiveWorkPlay, I've got a community. The best times were the Friday nights I used to spend going out Friday nights. I mean, I think there was like a 5-year period where almost every Friday night I was out on a bus, which I never took the bus anywhere. As long as it wasn't swimming night, I was good. To beg not to go on swimming nights.
That's beautiful. And I know our current volunteer coordinator, Alex, will want me to make sure everyone knows that people are no longer asked to go swimming if they don't like to swim. So it's much more variety, geographic.
But do they have to cook in a really hot kitchen in a really old building?
No.
Oh, okay.
Now a lot of people have great fond memories of those family brunch events, but I certainly prefer the service at St. Anthony's when we're able to do that. So
never make pancakes with Julie. That's all I have to say.
Good to know. I'll try. So Cecilia and Wendy, I just want to thank you so much for joining us with our 25th anniversary celebration, and hey, look forward to future anniversaries and more conversations.
See ya. Happy to be part of it.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.
I'd like to do a quick thank you to the community partners. I'm Grace Hudson, the team lead for Community Connector team. I've been with LiveWorkPlay for 15 years, and I'd like to take this opportunity to share with the Make a Buzz 2020 audience our thanks to community partners. I won't be able to list them all, but here are a few. Meals on Wheels Ottawa, Centertown Citizens Ottawa, Multi-Faith Housing, Nepean Housing, Ottawa Tool Library, Parkdale Food Centre, Moneywise at Ottawa Booth Centre, St. Anthony's Banquet Hall, and the Pearly Rideau Health Centre. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anna Nelson, and I'm the team lead with the employment team here at LiveWorkPlay. I've been with the organization for just over 3 years, and I'm super excited to be part of such a wonderful team and wonderful organization. I want to take this opportunity to update everybody here at Make a Buzz 2020 with some stats from our employment team over the past year. We are supporting 200 members, actively involved with 140 workplaces. We have secured 69 new jobs over the past year and are also working to maintain 110 jobs from previous years as well. We are working hard with employees to help them develop more inclusive practices for all their employees. and seeing great results with this as well. It is a challenging time right now for sure, but we continue to stay connected to our employers and their employees. And we are also looking forward to when the job market gets back on track and connecting more people to workplaces then as well. Thank you all for coming tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Stay well, stay healthy, and stay connected.
Hi there, everyone. Jen Susi here, Manager of Employer Partnerships, and I've been with the organization now for 14 years. Building on Anna's comments, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the Employment Task Force and the Federal Employment Strategy Group volunteers. We've been so fortunate to have your support over the years, and without all of you, we wouldn't have reached all of our amazing employment milestones, such as 100 jobs with the federal government this past January. We now have had the unique and distinct pleasure to support jobs for members with intellectual disabilities and autism in 34 Canadian departments and agencies, something that has never been done before and we are so very proud of. I would also like to thank all of our private sector employers for your years of support and for helping so many of our members achieve such a meaningful opportunity to fully participate and be included in our communities. Thank you to Shopify, TD Bank, Parliament Cleaning, The Works, Peter Pitt, Welch Accounting, the list goes on, and I'm sorry I can't mention you all by name tonight, but from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. For all of those business owners, managers, heads of HR, co-workers, we want to let you know that we are thinking of all of you during this difficult time, and we will continue to be here to support you now and into the future.
Welcome everyone to the next segment of Make a Buzz Ottawa 2020, our 25th anniversary. As you can see, we have with us some of the Harris clan, Ivan, Betty, and Jennifer. And they are many things, but they are also legendary as the hosts of one of our great traditions, the Live, Work, Play pool party. And you know, it is 25 years, and so we've actually arrived at a place now where not everybody would know about the pool party tradition. So I'm gonna maybe start with Jennifer to take us back to the beginnings and how it all happened.
In 1998, before I was a member of LiveWorkPlay, you guys had a pool party at a volunteer's house. We did it in 1999 to 2000 and I don't even know now. So
okay, let's just get it out in the open. We went on a tremendous run of how many straight years after that?
15.
15 years. And part of the legend, how many times was it canceled?
no cancellations.
So we had cooperation of the heavens and everything. It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
And what time of year was this typically held?
It was the second week of June. Weekend.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which is not historically, you know, it's not like it never rains in June in Stittsville. So there you go.
But
That's
it
pretty
never
amazing.
rained on pool party day.
Incredible, incredible. Okay,
I
so
know, it was
let's go
incredible.
to, okay, maybe we'll start with Ivan. How about share with us one or two of your absolute favorite pool party memories?
Okay, well, I'll start with someone may have heard of Daniel Ivan Harris, our son. Okay, so what we had in 2011, we had a situation where Daniel always loves the cannonball and soap people. However, he used our diving board, and he probably did not realize that there was a weight limit on the diving board. So during the middle of an especially good cannonball, the diving board snapped in half, which led to a lot of hilarity. And I think Daniel has worn that episode forever and will never give it up.
Now, be honest, isn't it kind of amazing that the diving board made it that long?
Yeah, yes it is actually.
I mean,
I never thought about it that way.
that thing took a lot of abuse. I'm going to picture like, you know, Justin Godin just pounding the heck out of that thing. As an example, I mean, you got your lineup. You'd have your Justin, Ryan, Daniel, myself, some others just really giving it. So I thought it was kind of amazing that it went all those years. And importantly, even in the broken diving board incident, Betty, was anyone injured?
Nobody was ever injured. No, we all, everybody went back. The only time I heard complaints was, I think it was the first year. Everybody forgot sunscreen and to cover up. So everybody came back with these sunburns, some on their feet, all over their body. It was the hottest year ever.
And then, but as is typical, I recall by the next year, there were new developments, such as tents, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, we did. I don't remember when it happened, but it did have tents.
Yes, and we also, when was it we got the screened room?
2003.
Okay, so a number of years after that, we got that, which people rescued into.
Oh, and that made the fine dining just much more exquisite, for sure.
Yeah, so what happened when we had the window in the house open and Jack was barbecuing, Jen?
The fire alarm went.
Yeah.
The smoke alarm went.
Yeah, well done burgers.
Exactly.
But it was all handled very, very calmly. No one got into the streets of Stittsville or anything. That's fantastic.
No, and half the people didn't even know it happened. They're all out in the pool swimming.
That's true. Probably a lot of screaming out there. And there's another, I think, for me anyways, a very important tradition, which I'm not sure, and I honestly don't know how it started, but perhaps as a fun way of making note of people that were leaving the party early. Does anyone want to discuss that tradition?
Yeah.
There was a tradition of people splashing.
Yeah, making sure they didn't go home dry.
When you say splashing, though, are we talking about like a little flick of water, or what kind of?
No, somebody would do a cannonball. Like
Daniel?
you, Daniel. I forget who else.
Yeah. I know Justin would help, certainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember anybody else.
Nobody could escape that narrow ledge, the sidewalk. You had to walk by the pool to get to the outside gate without getting splashed by a giant cannonball. Yeah.
Some people were.
Oh yeah, I actually remember putting a sign on it that says splash zone.
That's right. Yep. You had the splash zone.
I don't remember what year it was, but I remember doing that.
To me, it was made spectacular by some of the reactions. I recall particularly Jennifer Cunningham saying quite literally, "Well, that's great. I was all dry and now I'm wet." And people would try, you have your Charles Wexler, a cagey fellow, and he would start to strategize, let's get everything ready and make a run for it. But I don't think they got away with that too many times.
Actually, one time, because he went out the back gate.
Yeah.
You remember that day? He took his
bike. And he had his bike, and he was going to ride home, but he went west instead of east on the Trans-Canada Trail.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that, but he did go out the back gate instead of going through the splash zone.
I think he was probably about 6 or 7 kilometers before he figured out, oh, this doesn't look good. And he turned around.
I mean, that's great because it speaks to the desperation of people. They're going out the back gate and riding their 20 kilometers the wrong way just to escape the ritual. So that's when you're doing it right.
Funny. I never heard that story, but
I don't know if you want to tell us a bit about the year and the method by which you communicated there would not be another pool party.
We started the pool about 4 to 5 years ago, and then basically it was done.
Yeah.
we
Now, how
took
did we let
pictures.
people know?
I don't remember that.
Oh.
I don't remember either.
Oh.
Did you take pictures of the grass or
Oh,
something?
yeah. My dad took pictures of everything.
Oh, so that's it. Yeah.
Exactly. So we had literally minutes before that went on Facebook. We were doing the calendar, and you know, Grace or Allison or somebody said to me, "Okay, and then the pool party will be on what day?" And then I was like on Facebook, and I was like, actually, you can take that off the schedule because there's a bulldozer in it.
Yeah. So I was.
I didn't exactly know.
So I guess you guys didn't know that. So there you go. Well, that's perfect. So thanks, everybody.
Okay,
Well,
yep.
thank you. Take
Thanks
care.
talking to
Bye
you.
for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, welcome everyone to our next segment here at Make a Buzz 2020. It's such a great way to retrace our 25 years touching base with volunteers, old and new, and in between. And as with so many, with Colin and Cindy here today, although they are no longer in Ottawa with us, they have remained in touch with so many of our members and families, and we'll talk a bit more about that. But just to get started, maybe tell us where you are and what you're doing.
We are in Tampa, Florida. Been here 14 years now. I guess we met you guys probably about maybe 16 or 17 years ago, maybe a little bit more, when I decided that I needed to volunteer with Live, Work, Play. And we've been friends ever since. So it's been great. And I'm working on a television show here in Tampa called Daytime. It's syndicated across the country, and it's a daily show. And Colin has his own PR firm down here.
Yeah, and I've been embracing the local culture, which includes the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I feel like we haven't really gotten too far away from Canada. There's a ton of Canadians down here, and I play the rec hockey once a week at the same facility where the Tampa Bay Lightning practice. So it feels like we're right in the Canadian vibe here. The Lightning are simply a contingency plan. If the Senators don't win the cup, we just fall back to Tampa if we need it.
Okay, that's good. That's good recovery. So maybe take us back and some of your early days with Live, Work, Play, what you were doing and how you found out about it.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how I found out about it, to tell you the truth. I just kind of found you guys happily. And
I think it was CHRO connection myself. But,
was it? Were you on the show? And I went, oh, there's a group that I definitely want to get to know better.
You went, there's a guy that has no idea how to do an interview. I should help them.
I think I remember sort of vaguely my first day visiting and getting to know all the different volunteers, and then getting to know the clients and just thinking, wow, this is such a fantastic place. There was never a moment where I went, oh gosh, this is the wrong fit. And then Colin got involved, being married to me. It was just inevitable. And we've never looked back. And it's so good that we've been able to stay connected through all these years. And the way you have evolved, and be able to watch you and see the progression, and to see the same clients and see how much they've grown and changed over the years. It's been really, really heartwarming.
Cool.
Yeah, I would add that, I remember those early visits to the original Bronson location. What was the exact location, Keenan?
Yeah, Bronson Center, 211 Bronson.
Okay. Yeah, very good. And right from I don't think you were using the Buzz branding back then, but there was a lot of buzz when we walked in there. To me, it seemed big when we first walked in there in 98-ish, maybe 99. And it was really impressive. And boy, what a great group. That's just embraced Cindy and me. And we felt a lot of love. It was a really positive experience for us. And we just saw the energy, and everybody seems to rise up. And I remember the little thrift shop that you had downstairs at the community center.
Oh man.
I went big on my first visit. I think I spent everything I had and borrowed some money from Cindy. We went home with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're still living off the interest from those purchases. That was fantastic.
It's been interesting just to see the different business ventures that you got into over the years too, and all the things you learned from each. And I love the way you're running it now. I just think everything has fallen into place and you're definitely on the right path that you should be on. And the fact that you are letting other people know in different parts of the world what you're doing and what works well, that they can do it too, I think is just phenomenal.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, on Facebook, there's lots of people that we're in touch with on a regular basis, and it's amazing to see the progress they made, and they've blossomed in their lives, and they have jobs and apartments, and
you weren't afraid to try things, and if something didn't work, you weren't afraid to say, okay, you know what, that didn't work, and we're going to move on, and we're going to find something better. And you keep going to school throughout all this, which again is so impressive. So that's why I think this Live Work Play has been so successful over the years. And I just love the progression. Sure, there were some, a little bit of pitfalls here and there, but you learn from those. And then you go, okay, we can do this another way. And you're not afraid to listen to other people and get ideas from others as well, which is really, really fantastic.
Well, that's been super important because, back in the day, we were doing a lot of congregated stuff, and it was with the best of intentions, and you learn from that. But I think Colin was saying, like, for every population that's got that vulnerable label or is just excluded in any way, the answer is never going to be institutional. It's got to be change in the community.
It's inclusional.
Exactly.
Yeah, well
but
said.
if we do go back to those days, because we did have good times, is there any particularly wacky memories that you might have of Live Work Play adventures?
Oh my goodness.
I think there was one time that a Live Eye news showed up at an event because one of your guys decided to make a phone call and call the media, and the media said, hey, this is serious stuff. And the live truck showed up at, where did the live truck show up again? I can't remember.
Thunderbird Golf and Go-Karts.
That's right. That's right. So the 6 o'clock live news showed up to cover an event that actually was not occurring. Is that correct, Keenan?
That is correct, yes. A fax was sent to the New RO newsroom, which was not vetted very well. And we were just playing mini putt, and I saw that truck with the big satellite tower coming down the road, and I knew, oh man.
Well, somebody did a great job getting the word out that you.
Yeah, they did. It's not easy to get the live truck to show up. So.
Oh, I'm aware. I was feeling a little bit stressed. Yeah. But I was actually thinking for Cindy. I remember when we had the community garden, and you showed up with the camera crew in high heels, and you were like,
oh yeah,
getting in there with the shovel and the pitchfork and everything. That was pretty special. Yeah. I
had my wedges on though, so I wasn't, aerating the ground. So yeah,
those
shoes were more sensible than you thought.
I just remember sitting back wide-eyed and watching the members who were kind of like hesitant, and then Cindy just, with all the glam, just gets in there and like, let's grow some potatoes.
Let's do it. Right. Brilliant.
Oh so gosh. Awesome.
Live, work, play anniversary with friends across the 613, Stittsville to Barhaven and Old Vanier. When I think of you, you still got on that hat that says let's party. Hope that thing is never thrown away. I hope that what you thought it'd be. I hope your LRT to downtown runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you've always been to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. After 25 years the memories fade, but they all mean so much to me. Hope you feel my heart, 'cause it's in this song. Ain't it funny how some people pop into your head so easily? Haven't seen you in there for so long. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your LRT to downtown runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you've always been to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your LRT to downtown runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you've always been to me. May all your favorite bands stay together. May all your favorite bands stay together.
Well, welcome everyone to our next segment of Make a Buzz Ottawa 2020. We are thrilled to have with us from a ballroom somewhere in Prussia, Daniel Harris, longtime staff member and of course part of the Harris clan. And so welcome, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Keenan.
But maybe touch on, if you can, how now the whole COVID situation has upped our game tremendously, but even before that, just dabbling in how technology can really be a way that we can get out of people's space, but at the same time support them. Do you have any good examples?
So one thing that's been really great for helping people take control of their own life and really helping it so that they're not being micromanaged by a person is just a voice assistant. A lot of people really find text difficult. It's hard to process. It's hard to find exactly where it is. Whereas with something like Alexa, you can program it like every day at this time, read my schedule, tell me the news, tell me the weather, everything very simply, all in one sort of procedure that you can use as a one-word trigger. Some members that I support have huge literacy issues, and so it just wouldn't even be possible any other way. One of the great things about Alexa is I can update it from wherever I am. If one of my members has a change in their schedule, I can just literally update on my phone, and when next time Alexa speaks, it's already updated. And I think that's really fantastic.
Awesome, because previously you would have trying to reach them by phone, or you'd have literally, if you couldn't, you'd have to go to their apartment and say, I just wanted to know the doctor's appointment got moved or whatever, because sometimes it's really important and we just have to reach the person. And so I think that's been phenomenal. And for those who really want human faces and voices, hey, we've had the 76 hours of Zoom rooms running for a while. And what do you think? Do you think some people are gonna want to carry that on past when we get through this situation?
I think some people will. I know that some members have a really big issue with anxiety about, going out, going to people's places, trying to make plans to connect, while just having a video chat is a lot less anxiety and a lot easier to keep people connected. And so I know some people who never did any video chatting started off with the Zoom video chats when LiveWorkPlay organized them, then started making their own video chat plans with other people because they're like, this is fantastic. Why didn't I start doing this before?
Now, I have spoken earlier to 3 or 4 of the rest of the Harris clan, and we reviewed memories of the pool party.
There are so many.
There are so many, and they did a great job. Your sister Jennifer recounted the origins, as well as the demise of the pool party. And so I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss out on any of the more spectacular memories. As you can imagine, they covered the breakage of the diving board.
I can imagine. I mean, I think that is a very central part of the pool party lore.
Absolutely, and that you will never escape it.
I am sure it will be on my tombstone.
Yes, that is pretty much what your father said. And then we covered some of the traditions. Just share with us some of your favorite pool party memories, good, bad, and ugly.
Some of my favorite memories are playing Marco Polo when everyone else had stopped and didn't tell me. The cannonball contest was also just really fun. Everyone really enjoyed it. Once again, no one leaves dry, but also no one stays dry if they're near the pool, because the cannonball contest is an ongoing thing. And anytime there's someone who's not paying attention, who's happened to be by the pool, they're fair game.
Because your family did such a good job recounting the pool party, I thought we'd just take advantage of your status as an extremely long-serving staff member and maybe take us back to the year and how it was that you first became involved with LiveWorkPlay and what you were doing.
Keenan loves these stories of me when I was a youth. So I first became involved in LiveWorkPlay when I was 15 years old, I believe. I did a month-long volunteering over the summer with what I believe was WowE at the time, because back then we loved acronyms, which is World of Work, Experience, and Exploration. Or was it Exploration and Experience?
Yeah, it could be Exploration and Experience.
I was doing some silly things back then, thinking that they were funny. Like Keenan loves to tell the story of me bus surfing, which is, when you're just sort of like letting the turning and braking of the bus be entertaining as you try to maintain your balance and not fall over.
What makes the story spectacular is the context, which is helping people with disabilities learn how to use public transportation.
I was hoping to that would probably be implicit, so I didn't have to say it out loud.
No, I think it's important to set the stage. It wasn't just the two of us riding on the bus.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole example setting thing and all that sort of, yeah. That was certainly a classic. Thanks, Daniel.
Have a great one, Keenan. You're very welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, welcome back, everyone, for Make a Buzz Ottawa 2020. And in our next segment, we are thrilled to have with us two of our longest serving advocates and also hopefully beneficiaries of our supports and services here at LiveWorkPlay. We have Carol and Matt and Ryan Nevitt. Say hello.
Hi.
Excellent. So maybe to get us started, how about I start with Carolyn, and if you could think back to how you first got involved with LiveWorkPlay and the type of supports you had over the years.
Well, it's thanks to my mom. She's find LiveWorkPlay wonderfully, and I'm so thankful to be part of LiveWorkPlay. It wouldn't be for my mom if she didn't find it. And thanks to her, she's wonderful, and she's my angel. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for LiveWorkPlay.
Wow, nice shout out to Mom and to LiveWorkPlay.
Yeah,
How about you,
exactly.
Ryan?
thanks to my mom and my dad, both of them. They helped me find Live, Work, Play, and my mom said, if you can get on a bus and meet me down at Live, Work, Play, and then walk to where it was on Chapel Street,
Oh, yeah.
meet me there. We'll go in and meet, I think it was, I met you first, and then I met Allison the second time. And then I remember meeting Allison, and I was like, yeah, I wanted to join the second time.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know why I
cool.
was so scared, but
yeah, a lot of people are nervous at first, and it's
the second time wasn't so bad, and I just wanted to join because I wanted to meet more people and get around the city.
awesome. And so let's move into maybe some of your favorite things that you've done or your favorite memories.
I loved going on some of the trips, like Turks and Caicos. I enjoyed those type of trips. They were fun, and I've taken a couple trips on my own. Going on trips with Live, Work, Play have been fun, but I also wanted to take a couple on my own. So they've given me more experience to go travel a little bit on my own too.
Excellent, which was really the whole idea in the first place. We would
Yeah.
give people travel experience, and then they could pick one or two or three or four people and go on their own trips. Now, I appreciate you had a lot of fun, and you feel that you've gotten a lot of support, but both of you have also given back quite a lot to Live, Work, Play over the years in your advocacy work, media work, and Carolyn's been featured in some different videos that were made, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that one way back in the day on CBC called Moving On? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one. I loved it.
Yeah, what were you doing in that video?
Talking about where I used to live. I moved to so many places. It's crazy. And I don't know where to begin.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Tell us where you are now.
This is hard.
Well, where do you live?
CCOC building.
Yeah, what part of the city?
Downtown near Elgin.
Great. And tell us a bit about your apartment. What's it like? What do you like about it?
I can do my art. I can do my painting.
Nice. And in these times when we need to stay inside, is there any way you get some fresh air?
On my balcony. Because I can't go for walks.
Right. Nice. And in your CCOC community, is there common places or gardens or anything like that?
There's a garden behind my building.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Ryan? Where are you at? What do you like about it?
I'm in a Nepean housing building.
And what do you like about that neighborhood?
I really like it because it's close to buses. It's close to a park, so I can take my dog for a walk near the park. And I can take my dog for walks around the neighborhood, which is really good. So I can take them different areas. And I love being able to have my dog here because at other places I wasn't able to have him. And I like having my sunroom because it's really nice, and my AC can go in there perfectly. Yeah,
Fantastic.
I really like living here.
And so, Carolyn, where you're living, are there also people you know who live in the same area?
Yeah, members from Live, Work, Play.
Oh, excellent. And how about you, Ryan? If you want to spend some time with people, is that easy for you?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Sometimes I'll see them outside. Sometimes I'll see one of my friends from Live, Work, Play in the hallways. I see Linda sometimes, and she's very nice. Linda Gray. I think we all know her. She's a really nice person. We get to chatting sometimes, and she's very, very, very great person.
Fantastic. And Ryan, what about some of your favorite advocacy moments over the years where maybe you were speaking or in a show or something?
Oh, I remember being on CTV with my mom at the one of the other offices, You think it was near Saint Laurent?
Oh, in Michael Street, yeah.
Yeah. We were talking to, I don't remember the
Leanne Cusack.
Leanne Cusack, yeah. And that was fun. And I remember going to talk at some of the feasts. They're doing some speeches there. Those are fun. And I remember going with you to a conference and speaking in front of a bunch of people at the conference.
Good
It
memory.
was really fun.
Carolyn, you were at the Michael Street office too in Leanne Cusack. Remember that?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, I was for the Amazing People, and your mom was there.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I did, and yeah, I said live work plays like family.
That's right. You're in the video saying that. That was very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. High
Nice.
compliment for sure. So, Carolyn, over all these years, we've been involved in many wacky adventures. Is there any favorite memory you want to share with us?
New Hampshire, you were throwing snow at us. I remember that. Remember?
At the Mountain Lodge.
Yeah, you got me, and I went, ah.
I
Remember?
did. I do, because I felt kind of bad about it, because I thought you saw it coming and you were going to move. And I hit you with snowball right in front of the whole dining hall.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, I felt like a bit of a bully.
But you were not. It was just a mistake.
Well, I appreciate your generous spirit, and because that was a very interesting trip.
Yes, I do remember.
Tell
It's
us.
the bridge I tried to cross. I was so scared I cried. And
Did you
no,
try to
it's just-
cross it, or did you cross it?
I did cross it.
Ah! Now, it wasn't an ordinary bridge. You better explain.
No, it was very slippery. I had a hard time going up on it. It was, you inspired me to do it. You kept going to tell me, keep going, keep going.
Any other live work play traditions we haven't talked about yet that are really important?
Like the family feast.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Which is your
love
favorite
that.
one? What's your
My
favorite?
favorite one.
Yeah.
The one I got the award with 20, the 20th anniversary of Live Work Play when I got my award.
Okay. See, now I was thinking which is your favorite, like Welcome Back, Holiday, or March.
Christmas.
Ah, the Festive Family Feast.
Yeah.
But specifically, your favorite individual family feast was the one where you got an award.
Yeah.
I understand. How about you, Ryan?
I gotta say Christmas, and then I also like the Welcome Back one.
Yeah, that's always nice.
I
Well-
like getting to see everybody and when, like, after the summer and everything. And seeing
Hopefully
everybody-
that works
everybody.
out, and we will see everybody at St. Anthony's in September.
Yeah.
If not, December.
Yeah.
If not, March.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank Carolyn and Ryan for joining us for Make a Buzz 2020 and our 25th anniversary. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Welcome everyone to our next segment of Make a Buzz 2020, our 25th anniversary edition. And we're thrilled to have with us tonight some of the current leadership team. We have Kathy Velasquez, a past chair of the board, Michelle Doherty, current co-chair of the board, and Julie Kingstone, co-leader. So welcome everyone.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Thank you very much. And we have a guest appearance from Floyd.
That is wonderful. Floyd will have some questions for you at the end. Well, why don't we get started with Kathy? And now you served during some very important years, all the way from 2013 to 2019 on the board, and 5 years as chair. So I know it'll be hard, but maybe if you could share with us what you think one of the more important highlights during that time.
Well, to start, before I get to your question, first of all, big kudos
Julie, to you, Keenan, to you, Michelle, and all of the Live Work Play team for taking this very creative new approach with Make a Buzz 2020 online tonight. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I really hope that all of you have been healthy and well as we all focus on getting communities across the country to the other side of this pandemic curve so that we're all able to move forward. But getting back to your question, so in fact, there are many legacies of the last 5 years, but I think the commitment and partnership from frontline to executive staff to board, as well as use of outside research resources and consultation that resulted in revised remuneration, health plan benefits, and most recently vacation, is recognition of the value of the team.
Excellent, agreed, and I think the team very much appreciates it. All that strategic directions work really positioned the organization as well, and our reputation and public-facing messages, and some of that paid off in exciting ways, and I think that's what Michelle is going to talk to us a little bit about tonight.
Yes, so Live Work Play has for the last 25 years have gained a reputation across the developmental service sector with government and with other employers throughout the Ottawa area and also provincially and nationally. However, in 2019, we had the exciting privilege to receive a BOB, Better Ottawa Business Award. At the 2019 gala, Live Work Play had over 30 people come to support, including past board members, current board members, employers, employees of the organization, members, family members, and volunteers to support the organization in receiving this amazing honor. The BOBs are put together by the Ottawa Board of Trade and the Ottawa Business Journal. And at the gala, there was over 750 leaders from businesses, the public sector, and not-for-profit organizations. Live Work Play is not only recognized for its drive for inclusion, but most importantly, it was recognized for having work that is both meaningful, measurable, memorable, financially viable, and shows leadership and best practices. And so it was great to be able to show the rest of Ottawa, as well as provincially and nationally, that we are committed to financial planning, strong human resources, and strong governance practices.
That was a great night, and I promise I will insert the photo where you and Julie were both quite dignified on stage, and I just couldn't hold it together. But you'll see what I mean, everybody, when I put up the photo. And that brings us to Julie. So what would you like to capture for us that hasn't been said already?
Yeah, I mean, there's always so much to choose from, but I think really developing and refining this idea of just enough support. You know, Live Work Play is all about helping people have a home of their own, a job, enjoying what the community has to offer, and nurturing connections and relationships and friendships. And really, we've recognized over the years that supporting people to have the fullest life, it's really important that our role is providing direct support, but also really acting as a bridge to facilitate the development of opportunities and connections to people so that they can participate in and contribute to our community. It's really sometimes really hard to explain that approach to other people. So we really wanted to take some time and decided to make a video series to showcase some examples of how people we support are living in their own homes, you know, using their own gifts and talents in their day-to-day life, shining as employees and coworkers, and accessing services alongside other citizens, having fun and just enjoying time with friends and family, different ways of contributing that they were contributing to community life, using technology and support from paid staff to fill in the gaps. And I think from this time period, that's the highlight for me, and growing together to help the community continue to welcome people that we support.
Well said, well said. Okay, so now I'm thinking what I've typically done, I didn't prep you for this, but with everybody, I've given them a chance to share like a wacky moment or a favorite moment.
I don't have a wacky one, but
Yeah.
Like the things that are most memorable or that stand out for me working alongside the board is just the fellowship that evolves and develops, and whether it's in-person meetings and connecting over the mission of the organization, but also over personal interests and food often, and funny stories or experiences that people share, and that really brings people together, and that sense of meaning and connection of working together to make our community a better place. Those are some of the highlights for me working alongside board members.
So I guess a highlight for me on the topic of food as a board member is that sometimes we do, Julie is great at bringing different types of food for our meetings. And I've had the experience now of expanding my palate and trying mock chicken from Whole Foods and actually really enjoying it. And it was delicious. Another really memorable moment, but not on the board necessarily, but when I was a volunteer for Friday night activities, I was invited as a volunteer to go and meet the Prince and Princess, Kate Middleton and Prince William. It was quite a while ago, but that was a highlight of my participation as a volunteer, and really obviously meant a lot to me to be chosen to be able to attend that. And I got to meet them and talk to them about Live, Work, Play and about the organization, and it really solidified just me wanting to give back to this organization as much as possible. And so that was a really cool experience, and I've continued on volunteering as well as on the board since then, and hope to continue on in the future.
What a great memory, and you didn't even realize that was all, we were just bartering you up to be a board member for the future. So.
All part of the plan.
All part of the plan, and the Royals' help, that just makes it all the better. How about you, Kathy?
You know, when I think back, the most memorable moments for me, I mean, the board, there's no doubt the board worked very, very hard with the executive staff and accomplished a lot. But for me, it was those moments when I would be walking down the street or at a mall or in a store and just happen across one of the staff members, one of the volunteers, one of our members or their family. And there's just such a sincere sense of friendship and of being part of the family that I truly do miss. And I really look forward to the day in the very near future, we all hope, when we will be able to reconvene again and share those opportunities of gathering and sharing in person that sense of friendship and familyness.
Very true, and that makes me think of Family Feast. And it was also during this time period that the board really committed to basically attending all of them, and very few of you ever missed one over the past 5 years. And one of my favorite things from that is when you would all sit with different family members and others at the tables, and maybe sometimes not really knowing who you are, and they would tell you things. And they're sometimes quite comical and informative opinions that we otherwise would not have accessed. So that was an investment in community that I really paid off in a variety of ways for me.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of it.
All right, bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Welcome to our next segment of Make a Buzz Ottawa 2020 25th Anniversary Edition. It's great to have with us Cooper Cage and Caitlin Beaumont. Welcome.
Thank you.
And so I invited you. Now, Cooper, you also just have a long history at Live, Work, Play.
Yes,
but,
I have.
I invited you and Caitlin because we want to touch on the volunteer match experience, a big part of Live, Work, Play, especially in the most recent 10 years. But before we get to that, Cooper, maybe we'll go way back in time and
yes.
Tell us how you first got involved with Live, Work, Play.
Well, I started with Elaine talking to my mom about Special Needs Network, and then going to the Bronson Center, where it was a big thing that we did for Friday night, for Saturday morning brunches, and doing the auction donations there, and doing a lot of. That's how we started.
So Elaine Murphy basically reached out to your mom and said, you should come check out this family brunch thing.
Yes, and then talking about Special Needs Network on a Wednesday night. So we started on Wednesday night, and then we moved to Fridays.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually Friday nights, and then so it's been awesome having It is beautiful. It is. It really is, Keenan. It is. I've been harping on you guys to have one-on-one matches.
Right.
So
and we have one with us here today. So
yes.
Maybe Caitlin, you could tell us a little bit about how you got involved with LiveWorkPlay.
Yeah, so I just started my full-time job in Ottawa. I'd only been there a couple years, and at the time I had about 3 days off in a row, reliably every Friday. So I was looking for something to fill the time, so I started looking up volunteer opportunities, and LiveWorkPlay was actually right by the top. So I was reading up on it, and he was emailing Alex Darling, and she figured I'd be a really good match to get involved. So I started with Friday nights. And so I did my first Friday night at Fun Haven. I ended up being the only volunteer there because someone else couldn't make it, but we made it work. We had a lot of fun. And I remember Alex being so panicky because she was like, "Oh, you were alone on your first night." And I was like, "Well, actually, it was pretty fun. Like, it's Fun Haven with a bunch of cool people, so it was actually not bad." And then told her I was interested in the one-on-one matches, and so did my profile up, and I'm super active, super, always going, always moving, extroverted. So because Cooper is the same way, we just kind of met and clicked. Like, we go to the gym all the time. We're always running around doing stuff, and it just works. Like, right away, he's just talking to me like we've known each other for forever, and it was just super easy and comfortable. And this was back in 2015, and we're still going now. So
awesome.
It's been awesome.
I can just picture Alex looking at your profile and the listing of like active sports, and then just like ding, 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 Cooper Gage, Cooper Gage.
Yeah, he was the first one I met, and it was the only one. Like, it was easy, good match. And we were like, okay, every Friday we're gonna hang out.
Cooper, you have any favorite memories of things you've done with Caitlin?
I was just doing workouts together with bench pressing to arms, legs, back. It's working out really well, Keenan. It's the best. By the way, with this one-on-one matches, we're doing a great job.
Awesome. That's terrific.
Even if he doesn't want to work out, we'll go get coffee or we'll do something, find a way to hang out. Sometimes you don't want to work out, right? So we're like, can we just get a coffee? And it's like, yeah, we can get a coffee.
So I've been asking everybody that was involved with like Friday nights or other opportunities where wacky things can happen. So both of you, outside of the time you spent together, you've done some Friday nights. And I mean, Caitlin, you had a pretty interesting experience being your first night and Fun Haven, but do you have any stories, Cooper or Caitlin, of interesting, funny events that you've experienced with LiveWorkPlay?
Oh, yes.
All right, Cooper, go right ahead.
Remember that Paul put soap in the dishwasher.
Now, the soap in the dishwasher has already been used by Penny. That's one of her favorite memories. Dish soap in the industrial dishwasher, and we were up to our knees in suds. Definitely the Saturday brunch brings up the most mixed emotions for people. Some people just think it was hilarious and fun, and some people, you just say Saturday brunch and they go like this. And those were mostly the people who were involved in the food prep and the kitchen.
And I remember going to the Nuremberg pub on a Saturday night after the brunch and seeing Dave.
Awesome memory there for sure.
So
one of your favorite things we ever did, Dave Kalil
yes,
concerts?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then remember going to the PetSmart?
Oh no. That's not a favorite memory. Back in the day, before we really had a clue how to support people in employment, we thought if PetSmart would let us, we could just go down and kind of learn what they do here in the store, but it was a bit weird. That was a strange Saturday afternoon. But you have to start somewhere.
But you know, remember the Greek garage sale? How many hot dogs we sold?
Yes. So you and Penny have very similar. You both talked about Paul and the soap. You both talked about hot dogs at the Great Glee Garage Sale.
I missed the Greek garage sale, actually.
Really? That was a lot of work, bringing all that stuff from people's homes down to one location and then trying to sell it all and then trying to figure out what to do with it after.
Yeah, exactly.
And families that donated being like just not understanding why no one bought the turquoise toilet.
I know.
I want that. Well, I don't get it.
It's true. There's some cool stuff.
There was a good stuff.
Some of my favorite memories of LiveWorkPlay is just like we've gone out for pub dinners with a bunch of people from LiveWorkPlay. Like with Shayna back in the day, Lou would come too, and just hanging out with everyone and talking. And sometimes bugging Cooper a lot because he'd always get like chicken wings or chicken fingers. Like he's pretty old reliable. So we'd be like, you want to try something new? And next thing you know, Cooper's still got chicken fingers. So just hanging out with people. Some of my favorite memories, just making those connections and making friends. Right. So. It's really fun.
I remember that day that I drank 2 beers and ate the pound of wings, and then we went out together.
Yep.
With you.
He drank 2 beers, he ate a whole whack of wings, and then we went to the gym. And I was like, "Are you sure about this?" And he's like, "Yeah, 100%." And then we're probably about 10 minutes in. He's like, "Ugh." I was like, "You said you were sure."
I've been on my own for 13 years now, and live my own. I have a cat. His name is Jack. But other than that, I love it. I have my little backyard. I have my barbecue. Life is good. I've been the MBNA at TD MBNA for 17 years now.
So 17 years working at MBNA and TD Bank.
That's right.
And 13 years in your own place.
That's right.
Wow. Awesome.
Oh my goodness. Oh my Lord. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, how are you? Hi.
Keenan's here too.
Keenan, yes, my goodness. You're looking like Santa Claus.
Oh,
So
excellent. That's what I'm going for. Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, listen, Caitlin, congratulations. I'm so glad you're going to be honored. She's been wonderful with Cooper. I'm telling you, they're good buddies. So that's great.
The pop in. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Bye-bye now.
Bye now.
Bye.
Right. Great to watch your anniversary on the Zoom there. That was amazing. I really wish we were doing this in person, and we were supposed to have been, but
okay.
All right, we're good?
Keenan says we're watching on Zoom, 150 people, and everyone can hear you, so it sounds like it's okay, Dave.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to my show. Oh, no, it's your show. Sorry, forgot it's your show, not my show. So, we're going to do some songs. We're going to party a little bit after all your meetings and stuff, and congratulations on 25 years. I think I was there at the beginning. Not sure, near the beginning anyway. Keenan and Julie, you might be able to tell me that. But any experience I ever had with you guys was phenomenal. Met a lot of friends. We'll be talking about you guys through the show a bit. Gonna sing a little bit. This one's for Janet. When you're down in trouble and you need a helping hand, and nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. All right, sing it with me. Here we go. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. Thank you, Aaron. All you got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend, like 150 friends. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow, you guys, you just call up my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Ain't it good to know that you got a friend? People can be so cold, they'll hurt you and desert you, or they'll take your soul if you let them. Oh, now, but don't you let them. Ready? You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, running, yeah, yeah, to see you again. Baby, don't you know about winter, spring, summer, or fall? All you got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend, you got a friend, yeah. Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Ain't it good to know? Ain't it good to know? Ain't it good to know you got a friend, yeah. That's for Janet Balcombe. I don't know how, but it's Janet. So thanks you guys for sending in your requests. Keenan, if you have any issues, I'm going to have my laptop nearby, I think. And you can send me a Facebook Messenger message if you want. And I will have you ready to go. So, this one's for Grace Hudson. You ready? All right, here we go. If you want to dance with somebody, you got to pick somebody to dance with. Just a little bit of party. Pretend we're all together. What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Can't you tell that the tie's too white? Maybe I should buy some old tab collars. Welcome back to the age of jive. Where have you been hiding out lately, honey? Can't dress, tries to spend a lot of money. Everybody's talking about the new sound, funny, but it's still rock and roll today. What's the matter with the car I'm driving? Can't you tell that it's out of style? Should've get a set of white bone tires on your gonna cruise a miracle mile. Nowadays you can't be too sentimental. Your best bet's true, baby, blue continental. Hot from cool, but even if it's old junk, still rock and roll today. Oh, it doesn't matter what they say. The biggest it's always been the same old same. There's a new band in town, but you can't get the sound from the story in a magazine. Aim that your rappers take drum solo. How about a pair of pink sidewinders and a bright orange pair of pants? You could really be a ballroom, baby, if you just give it half a chance. I wish your mommy on a new set of speakers. You get more miles from a cheap pair of sneakers. Next phase, new wave dance craze, and it's still rock and roll today. Right! What's the matter with the crowd I'm seeing? You know that they're out of touch, literally. You could really be a ballroom in the game when you think too much. Don't you know about the new fashion, honey? All you need are looks and was still rock and roll to me. You know, we need is that applause thing there. You guys all applauding, that would be great. I can hear you though. All right, I hope you're dancing, I hope you're singing, and I want you to put your hands together on this one. So this one goes like this. Goes in one clap, and then two clap. Got it? You want to rehearse that one? Here we go, it's up to you now. One clap, then two. Thumbs up. All right, here we go. Let's do it. One, and then two. Here we go. This is for Martin and Frost. Little ditty about Jack and Diane, two Canadian kids growing up in the heartland. Jack's gonna be a football star. Diane debutante backseat of Jackie's car. Sucking on chili dog, outside tasty freeze. Dan sitting on Jackie's lap, got his hand between her knees. Jack said, hey Diane, up behind a shady tree. Dribble off those Bobby Brooks, let me do it right, please. Jackie said, oh yeah, life goes on. Sing it, long after the thrill of living is gone. Oh yeah, I said life goes on. Long after the thrill of living is gone, and walk on. All right, get your hands together, ready? Here we go. And a one, and a two. Jack sits back, collects his thoughts for the moment, scratches his head, does his best Keenan Weller. Jack said, hey Diane, run on up to the city. Dan said, baby, you ain't missing nothing. Jackie said, oh yeah, life goes on. Long after the thrill of living is gone. Oh yeah, I said life goes on. Long after the thrill of living is gone, and walk on. All right, hands together, ready? Here we go. All right, here we go now. And a one, and a two. And then you're gonna keep it going after this. Ready? Come on, Murphs. So let it rock, come on. Let it roll. Let the Bible belt come and save my soul. Hold on to 16 as long as you can. Chance come around here, so make us women and men. All right. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, sing it. Life goes on. Long after the thrill of living is gone. Oh yeah, I said life goes on. Long after the thrill of living is gone. Little ditty about Jack and Diane, two little kids who didn't have the pleasure of working with Live Work Play, but they're doing the best they can. Right. Clap! Two claps! Here we go. Way to go, guys. Hope you were clapping. Were you? Tell me. Tell me you were clapping. All right, so Keenan and Julie were nice enough to put a little list together for me. And and have some of your requests. So that one was for Martin and France or Francis. I don't know. Keenan's spelling, I don't know. So we'll see. And I think Julie just had a birthday a little while ago. So happy belated, Julie. You know, I do my shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I know Carolyn's there all the time, and Heather's there, and Brent Manuel's there, and Ryan McBride, and Cooper Gage, and who else is always there, you guys? Let's see now. Keenan and Julie are always there. Penny sometimes shows up, with or without Phil. We're not sure about that anymore. You know, Phil, her boyfriend. And the Murphys, Ian and Warren and Elaine and Jack. So I really appreciate you guys showing up. I know that coming to see me in the bars was one of your first experiences going out to do stuff like that, and it was my honor. And I remember Warren, was it Ian or Warren? I can't remember. They kind of look alike. Let me see. I think Warren was Ian was the technician, and Warren was just sitting back being the ladies' man. He was just a cool guy. So I remember all the help putting my wires into the piano and stuff, and I remember all that, and that's fantastic. It's so great meeting you guys over the years, and I can't believe it's been 25 years already. That's crazy to me. All right, so this one's for Julie. You guys know Julie. And you need to sing this. Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say, it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. All right, this is your part. Here we go. And I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? It's all you guys. Ready to go. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Yesterday, days before, the sun is cold, rain is hot. I know it's been that way for all my time. So forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow. I know you can't stop my wonder. All right, come on, gang. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? All you guys. All right, I can hear you. Coming down on a sunny day. Yeah. All right, sing it. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? All together now. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? I'm clapping for your singing because I know you were doing it great out there. Oh, I miss you guys. Oh well. Maybe someday we'll see each other. Hopefully soon. Maybe Cooper, I'll see you on the golf course somewhere. Okay, so that was for Julie, and then the other half of Julie is Keenan. I don't know if you guys know him. He's grown a beard. He's kind of hard to recognize right now, but this is another sing-along, so I need you to sing along. Get your, if your parents are there, you have friends or cousins or whomever, you have a dog. Maybe you want the dog to sing along. This one's for Keenan. You know your part. Hey, where do we go? Days on the rain skate. Down in the hollow, playing a new game. Laughing and running, hey, hey. Skipping and jumping. In the misty morning fog with our hearts are thumping. You brown-eyed girl, help me out. You my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened? Tuesday is so slow. Going down the old mile with a transistor radio. Standing in the sunlight laughing, hiding behind the rainbow's wall. Slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you. Ready? Brown-eyed girl. Here we go now. You my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when? So you guys ready? We used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ti-da. Just a little bit louder. La-ti-da. Are you singing? So hard to find my way, now that I'm all on my own. I saw you just in the day, oh my, you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I won't come thinking about it. Hanging up in the green grass, behind the stadium with you. Brown-eyed girl. Alright, sing it, now we go. You my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when? Here we go now. We used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ti-da. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ti-da. We're singing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ti-da. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ti-da. La-ti-da. Brown-eyed girl. You my brown-eyed girl. For Keenan. So we did one for Julie, one for Keenan. And now we're going to stay in that same idea. And you know how you're just doing a sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ti-da. Now I need you to do this. I'm going to leave that part totally up to you guys because I can't do it very well. It's too high for me. So you guys do it. Are you ready? Are you ready? This one's for Heather Kidd. I'm Okay, way to go, guys. Way to go. So, speaking of, okay, I got to zip through these songs. Otherwise, I'm not going to get all your requests in. Hope you're dancing. Hope you're singing. And mostly, I hope you're happy and healthy and you're enjoying this time off. This is for Phil. Phil and Penny. Blue jean baby, LA lady, seems it's for the band. Pretty eyes, pirate smile, married music man, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Jesus freaks out in the street, handing tickets out for God, turning back, she just laughs. The boulevard's not that bad. Piano man, he makes a stand in the auditorium, looking on. She sings us songs, the words she knows, the tune she hums. can hear me when I say it softly, slowly. Come on, sing it. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the lights on the highway. Baby, tell me she's waiting. Had a busy day today. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the lights on the highway. Baby, tell me she's waiting. Had a busy day today. That's for Penny and Phil. All right. Hey gang, here we go. Now my buddy Cooper Gage, probably hanging out there, just chilling. He's a chilling kind of guy, for those of you who know Cooper. But we don't want you chilling on this one part. Like I want you screaming. You ready? You're gonna try it. I will go like this. I'll go, look over there, and you go, where? Scare the heck out of your parents. Okay, you ready? Wanna try it? Look over there! Okay. Alright, Coop, this is for you, buddy. Hope we get golfing soon. Pretty women are walking with gorillas down my street. From my window staring while my coffee goes cold. Alright, here it comes. You ready? Ready to scream? Here we go. Look over there! Did you do it? Where? Yeah, Jeannie with a new boyfriend. Well, that's not the right words. They say the looks don't count for months, and so there goes your brew. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Okay, get your screaming voice ready. Here we go. Tonight's the night when I go to all the parties down my street. Coming up. I wash my hair and I kid myself, I look real smooth. You ready? Alright, here we go. Look over there! There's a lady that I used to know. It's setting down and gaze at something, so I'm told. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Alright. Around here. But it looks good, kill. There's a man who's gonna down is dead, but I've had my fill. Listen, you, take your hands from her hair. I get so mean around and see. There Something going wrong around here. Right, Cooper? Around here. Something going wrong around here. Something going wrong around here. Something going wrong around. You know, the only thing missing on that was Paul on tambourine. I missed that. I missed Paul on tambourine. He was a great tambourine player. Probably still is. And again, I hope to hear you guys sometime soon. Okay. I just have a little time left. So Keenan, you could probably message me when give me like a 5-minute warning would be great, because I don't know what's happening. Probably have to do it on my messenger, like Facebook Messenger, if you can. That'd be great. Isn't technology great? I mean, when we have to be stuck inside like this so we can still kind of see each other and be with each other, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So, we're going to do a song for Barry Weller, Barry and Marjorie. Sorry, my printing's bad. Barry and Marjorie, okay? We're going to go along if you can. Or dancing, or any of you dancing, please send me a message that you're having a nice dance with your folks or each other, or a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. Dog, cat, like I said. Just snakes. If you have a pet snake, don't dance with the snake. That's just weird, okay? Okay, for Barry and Marjorie, here we go. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Sing it. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Yeah, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the night is cloudy, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Yeah, let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Yeah, let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And Sesame Street would say, let her be, let her be, let her be, let her be. Bubbles, babies, bathtubs, let it be. Little Beatles there for Barry and Marjorie. Okay, I hope everybody's doing great out there. Hope you're all staying safe. And Brent has requested this one. Brent Manuel, or Manuel, if you're Spanish. We're all gonna sing this together, okay? This is a great song, and we know how much all the frontline workers and the people at grocery stores and truck drivers and everybody just working out there, putting their lives on the line for other people, which is fantastic. I know a lot of you guys do that. And it's a pleasure, my pleasure to be part of you guys, to be part of it. I feel like I'm a big part of your family. And that's what Live Work Play is, it's a family. So 25 years, that's pretty amazing. All right, so we're gonna need I need some humming. You ready? Deep breath. Make your nose tickle, here we go. Sometime in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for you won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't need. So here we go. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. Sing it. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Here we go. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. Sing it. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, right up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me if you need a friend. Call me home. Or you could text me, maybe Instagram me, maybe Snapchat me, maybe LinkedIn me. You could email me, just call me. If you still remember how to do that. Remember, it was actually talking to somebody on the phone. It was interesting. People used to talk to each other. So, how's everybody doing out there? And let me see. Let me look at you. Ryan, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hanging with your folks? Cooper? Dan and Pat? Jack and Elaine, the Murphys? What are you guys doing? What's going on? Carolyn, what are you doing? I love your comments on my shows. Pretty awesome, and you're a good piano player and singer too. I saw a video of you. That's pretty cool. So, I welcome you guys to come and join in my shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays on my Facebook page, Dave Kalil. So I will hope to see you then. All right, we got a couple more songs. We're going to wrap it up. And this one goes out to Carolyn because she comes to all of my shows. She really does. Okay, but you have parts in this song now. All right. So we're going to rehearse. So the first part is the ooh. So it goes like this. Where it began. Ooh. Got to do that part. And I can hear you. Don't slacking. No slacking. So try that out. Where it began. Ooh. Good. Okay. And then there's the part that goes. Sweet Caroline. You go. Ba ba ba. Really loud as you can. Ba ba ba. So there's a ooh and a ba ba ba, and I'll be like, so good, so good, so good. I know that's a lot to remember, but I'm really old and I remember that stuff. So you guys, it's be easy for you guys. So, all right, here we go. You ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? Warren? Ian? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Oh, listen to my hands. That's from washing them all the time. Can you hear that? They're like sandpaper. Here we go. Remember the first part? Ooh! Where it began, ooh, I can't begin to know it. That's really high for me. But then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? All right, here we go. Constantly washing hands, not reaching out. Don't touch me, I won't touch you. Come on, sing it. Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. Good time never seemed so good, so good, so good, so good. I've been in seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, hurting runs off my shoulder. How can I hurt when I'm holding you? Hands, wash your hands. Don't reach out, don't touch me, I won't touch you. All together now, sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. Good time never seemed so good, so good, do it. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh no. Oh, job, everybody. I'm going to have a drink and I'm going to say a little cheers to everyone. Cheers. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. And I hope you're good to each other. I know you guys are all great. You're all great people. So, well, maybe Keenan, I'm not sure about that guy. I know the one without the beard was really great, but I'm not sure about the bearded one. So, but I know I've met a lot of you and you're fantastic people. You're so kind and you're so generous and considerate. And a lot of other people can learn from you. So, cheers to you folks. Happy 25 years. Water. I don't drink like Ryan. I wish I could, but I don't. All right. So, a while ago, I actually played in front of you people, and you guys rewrote the words to this song and sang it to me, which was one of the best feelings I've ever had as a performer. So, I'll be singing, I don't know, I can't remember those words, but I'll be singing this one for you guys. And this one's for the Murphys and for all of you guys at Live, Work, Play. I'm going to say goodnight, and I'd like to thank you all for having me as part of your party. And thanks to Keenan and Julie and all the staff. All the people there are just fantastic. You guys are a great organization, and I will be with you as long as we keep going. Alrighty, you ready? Couple of clicks. Here we go. I don't know if you remember your lyrics, but these are the real ones. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. It's actually a Thursday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it sounded it's sweet and I knew it complete. And I wore a younger man's clothes. Sing it with me. Oh, la, la, di, da, la, di, da, da. Here we go. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody. You got us feeling alright. Great singing. Now Julie at the bar is a friend of mine. She gets me my drinks for free. And she's quick with a joke or to let up your smoke. But there's some place that she'd rather be. Said, Dave, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from her face. But I'm sure that I could be a movie star. But I never want to leave this place. Oh, la, la, di, da. La, di, da, di, da. Now Paul is a really good tambourine player. Never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Cooper, who's a really good golfer. And he probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as a businessman slowly gets stoned. Yes, It's a fantastic crowd for a Thursday. And Keenan gives me a smile, 'cause he knows that it's, what is it? 25 years I've been coming to celebrate. And that's unbelievable, and that doesn't rhyme. And the piano sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, happy 25 years. Oh, da, 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 da. All right, sing it with me. Da, 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 sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody. You got us feeling alright. Happy anniversary, Keenan and Julie and Live Work Play, and all you wonderful people. And I will see you in person really soon. Take care. Stay safe.
Myself. Can you hear me? Oh, echo, echo. What is that? Higher. 2 fingers. Okay, so that's page 2. And now a number between, use your fingers to make a number between 1 and 10. Is that higher, higher? What do you got there? 6? Is that 6? Okay, page 2, row 6. The 50/50 winner of $450 is Nancy Brody. Wins $450.
Oh my God!
It's a good thing Janet didn't do the picking after all. It would have seemed fixed. Well, I guess that's a wrap. An amazing night. How much did we make in the auction? A lot. How come
We made 7,100 and...
I know why. I had headphones. That could be why. Should be able to hear now.
Mom, you won!
Now I can hear.
Mom, you won!
Mom, you won.
Mom, you won the thing!
Yes, bravo.
Hey, Merch.
Hey,
thanks, Chris.
Okay.
Hey, what's happening? Everyone's, oh, there's Daniel.
There's Jillian.
What's your
There's our own Miss Mills this evening.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Unmuted.
Oh my goodness.
Are we unmuted?
Went on May 28th.
Hi, everyone. Jillian, muted everyone's Hi, Ellie. Hi, Jillian.
I want some flowers.
Yeah.
Karen.
Don't worry, Jill. I'll give you some flowers.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Stephen.
I'm gonna write another book.
Oh, hey, Jill.
Flynn.
my God.
Well, no, yeah, Nancy, you're 150.
I know, I told her.
She just popped up. And
Hello. Hi. Hey, Heather.
Oh, great.
Hey, everyone.
That's beautiful. You look amazing.
Everyone.
Hey, Julian.
Hey. Hey, everyone. There's Brett and Brian. Hi, Rebecca. Hi.
Hello, Polly.
Hi, Paul.
Wow.
Cooper. There's Cooper.
You come and stand here.
Hi. Hi.
Holy moly.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Cooper.
To be on.
How much should I win? I get off.
$450.
That's beautiful.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Totally random.
Hello. Hi, Keith. Hi, Keenan.
I'll see my boss next time. You live near me. Hi, Daniel.
Hi,
Jillian.
Hi. Hi, Keenan.
Hello, Carolyn.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Carolyn.
Hi, Caroline.
Glenn, how are you doing?
Not bad, you?
I'm doing good, love. I miss you so much.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Danielle.
Excellent. I love you.
Me too.
Excellent. 3.
Hi, Alex.
I love everybody.
Hi, I guess.
I love everybody's dance moves. You guys are such good dancers.
I like your dance.
Hi, Joy.
Hi.
I replied to Kena.
You're a great dancer tonight. And
Hi, Julian. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hey, go all night.
yeah, I know, dude. All right.
I mean, like, if I put it like this.
Hi, everyone.
No way. Higher way.
Alistair.
Hi.
Hey. Hi, Marco.
I don't leave this.
Hi.
Ooh, I know.
Hi, Miriam.
Hi, Christine. And the other Christine.
We're big now. We can see everybody, and they can. Hi, Rebecca. Hi.
Hey, Zach, how are you doing?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Looking forward to watching Mr. Dress Up on Saturday with you and Alistair.
Yeah, me too.
These 3.
There's Steven. Oh,
Hi,
Rebecca.
Robin. How are you? Hey, Robin.
Daniel.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, Joe.
He's left. There's Keenan.
Oh.
Hello,
Can you hear
Marie.
me?
How you doing?
Hey, Marie. Hi, Marie.
Hi. Keenan, can you hear me?
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Felice. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Hi, Rebecca. Hi,
Carolyn.
That's my
Hi,
Anna.
Hi, Jill.
There's our own Mills.
Hi, Carolyn.
I can hear you, girl. Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Daniel.
What a fun night.
Ashley.
Hi.
Hey.
Good night, everybody. We're off to bed.
Ashley looks beautiful in her dress.
Hi, Maren.
Good night, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Hi.
Sweet dreams.
now.
Patrice. I'm so happy today.
Hi.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
hi. Go look now.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Down the 2 pages.
Good
Night.
night.
So Lynn, see you on Tuesday.
Good night,
Rob, Andy still in the building?
On Tuesday, Jen.
Bye, everyone.
Jenna.
Want to get out?
Good night, Chris.
Bye,
Olivia.
Thanks, Elaine.
China, I'll see you after the virus. China.
The virus.
See you on Sunday, C-Mouse.
Bye, Susan.
You too, Stephen.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better today. I missed you this
I
morning.
feel good.
We are
Yes,
That's terrific. Good to have you back.
Good night.
Like you go to see the ship.
Love you.
Hi, everybody. Great night. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Susan.
Jillian.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Alistair.
Hi, Joshua.
Alistair.
Remember me?
Yeah, Mrs. Madame Gray looks beautiful in the
Hi,
tie.
Joshua.
Hey, Bye, everyone.
See you on Saturdays with Wendy.
And
Melissa.
Well, tomorrow on Zoom.
Remember me?
back to business.
We should have just done this for an hour.
I was sure.
I can't talk.
Daniel Harris.
Olivia's still
Bye.
Hey, Brian.
You look handsome, Mrs. Madame Harrison.
Hi, Wendy.
I love you.
Mrs. Harrison.
Did I say your mom's name right?
No, I don't think so.
Feliz Miranda.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
They're all leaving now. Hello, they're at the.
Hey.
Have fun at work.
Hi, Keenan. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Hi, Julian.
Oh, there he is.
Hi, Julie.
Hi,
Karen. Hi. Want to go to bed?
Jennifer.
I'm leaving the meeting. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Yep.
Hi, Danielle.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye. Bye, Keenan.
Bye, Carolyn.
Mom, sign off.
Mom.
See you guys.
Bye, Ashley. We'll see you guys.
And I'll see you on Saturday because I'll be at work tomorrow.
Love you.
Now we're down on one page.
I love you.
Okay, I too am gonna head out. Bye, guys.
All right, Cal. I'll see you on Tuesday with Mrs. Madame Ron.
You will.
I'm gonna head out too.
Have a wonderful weekend.
I love you.
Love you, Paul.
Love you. I can finally hear you now. Love you,
Bye,
Steven.
guys.
Love you too.
Bye, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
It's 17.
Yep.
Love you.
Bye.
You do better than I thought you would do in the environment.
What's that, Paul?
Love you.
Have a great night, Paul.
Hey, Dylan.
Love you.
Hey, Laura.
How's it going?
Good, you?
Good. It was fun, eh?
I'm hanging.
Yeah. I had 2 drinks tonight.
Wow. Those are tasty drinks, too.
And now the big reveal. The last 10 people get $1 million each.
Gotta kick 2 people out then. Oh, well, it seems like, yeah, okay. There's probably 2 of these are you, so okay.
Well, Olivia looks like she's ready for bed, so that's 2.
Oh, look at Olivia.
We woke her up.
Uh-oh.
All the raucous partying.
Whoopsie. Well, Julian, are you going to be able to get up for our meeting tomorrow morning?
Probably not.
You're gonna
She's
sleep in
honest.
past noon tomorrow?
Probably.
All right, duly noted. Good to know. All right. I'll keep that in
I
mind.
feel like Jillian needs to
Love
tell us
you.
the stories of all the animals she had growing up.
Oh my God, that's a long story.
What?
Do you
All
remember
right,
that?
good night, guys.
Bye,
Nice.
Maggie.
We're down to 11.
Told us a lot of
Down to
stories
11.
about animals growing up.
We're down to
Lynn
11
started
people.
a story about her pets on a bus trip, and it went all the way from Montreal to Ottawa.
Oh, God.
It was a sad story. It was totally like the story of the, I don't know why she swallowed the fly. It's like,
I love you.
and the cat ate it, and then the dog.
I love you.
All right,
what's
guys.
happening, man?
I think I'm gonna head out too. This was
Downstairs.
really great. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow. Will I see you tomorrow on Zoom, Paul?
Probably, I know too, yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
You will see me in the afternoon. This night.
Y'all later. You want to cancel our call in the morning?
Chris, you got a lot of kudos on the guitar playing,
On
buddy.
it. Okay, sounds good.
You got a lot of
I'll talk
kudos
to you
on the
tomorrow
guitar
in the
playing.
afternoon.
Love you.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright. Bye, guys.
Bye, down to 7.
Okay, should we really end it now?
Bye, everyone.